Hello, everyone, and welcome back to your favorite podcast, Stop the Internet Podcast. I'm Kelee.
I'm Jimmy.
You guys, Jimmy's back. We haven't been here in so long. Since we last recorded, Jimmy spent 3 weeks in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to give us a highlight?
Oh, highlight. Let's see. What was my... People keep asking, like, oh, what was your favorite country or city or whatever? I feel like very basic. I loved Rome, you know, all like the monuments and everything. That's like been my dream forever.
Yeah.
But I really liked Amsterdam. The vibe in Amsterdam was just like there.
Everyone loves it there.
Yeah.
Would you recommend it?
I would recommend it to literally anyone and everyone. Everyone was so nice. It was so relaxed. No one's in a rush to get anywhere. Everyone's on their bikes. There's canals. And it feels... I feel like with Italy, it's so romanticized in like movies and things like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's not exactly the same. Whereas in Amsterdam, it was like I walked into a movie.
Wow.
Like it was really cool. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Loved it.
I went to Rome a couple years ago and I felt like it was so crazy and it felt fake. Like it almost felt like one of those places in Disney World where if you like knock on the wall, it's just hollow plastic.
Right.
And I'm like, we're in the Colosseum or like well, we didn't go in the Colosseum, but the Pantheon and like the other, like the Trevi Fountain. I'm like, when I touch it, I just expect it to be made of plastic. Like it's like, how is this real?
I know. Yeah. There was a lot of moments like that. And in Portugal and things like that, like things have just been there for so much longer than here. You know what I mean? Where like we can't really see things that are that old, like the ruins and everything that have been there in America. So it was a great experience. It was a great trip.
That is so interesting too, how the stuff over there is like, well, I actually don't know, thousands, hundreds?
Yeah.
No, not hundreds of thousands.
Thousands of years old.
Thousands of years. Yeah.
Like BC.
Wow.
So.
And then America is like a baby compared to that. Like we have stuff from 1700s and that's like the oldest it gets for American history. Not like, obviously there was people here before, but yeah, like Independence Hall in Philadelphia, it's like 1776. That's as old as it is.
Yeah.
That's so
and
weird.
Just to like the infrastructure in general, like walking around somewhere like Philadelphia, like everything is so like modernized and things like that. Whereas there they like preserve, like, you know what I mean? The homes that are there have been there for like a very long time. So it was just like cool to walk around and look at like the different types of like houses and things like that.
Yeah.
There's no like millennial gray, you know what I mean? Like all of that we have here. So it was cool.
That's awesome.
It's a great time. Wish I could go back already. Hopefully.
Next summer.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Wow.
But
cool.
Yeah.
Okay, today I was thinking we can do stories that are like, I don't know exactly what this episode is going to be called, but stories that made me suspicious and be like, And then I was thinking some of them might be like, is it that deep? Or am I just reading too far into it? Or are the people reading too far into it? So...
That sounds perfect.
Yeah, should we just jump right in?
Dive in. Yeah, let's do it.
Excellent. Am I the asshole for firing the nanny because she keeps using my bathroom? I, 31 male, have a daughter, 1. I'm a single dad, so I hired a live-in nanny, Emma, 27, to help take care of my daughter when I'm at work. When Emma moved in, I told her to please not enter my room and bathroom unless it was necessary. I didn't want to look like a douche by locking my doors, so I just asked her not to enter my room. I started realizing that Emma would shower in my bathroom. I would come home and the floor of the shower would be wet and some stuff would be out of place. I'm a neat guy, so I know I don't leave my sink like that, and the water from my morning shower usually dries by the time I get home. About 2 months ago, I get home and there's blood and a tampon in my toilet. I mean, I knew that Emma had been using my bathroom, but it hadn't hit me till then. I left my room and asked her if her bathroom works okay, if the shower is fine and all. She said, yeah, it's fine. I asked why she had been using mine then. She looked at me without answering for a few seconds and then said, sorry, I won't do it again. I accepted that and told her to let me know if there's something she wants changed or fixed in her bathroom and we'll get to it. 2 days later, blood and a tampon in my toilet and a wet shower floor again. At this point, I got very agitated. She had gone to bed by the time I noticed, so I asked her about it the next morning before I left for work. I asked her why she had used my bathroom again, if there's nothing wrong with her bathroom. She said the same thing she said before, sorry, I won't do it again. I told her, frankly, if she enters my room or bathroom without a good reason again, I'm not going to be willing to have her in my home anymore and we can cancel the contract. Things were fine for a while after that. I thought of just locking my door before, but I wanted to see if she'd actually keep her word and not enter my room or bathroom again. She didn't, from what I could tell, so it was fine. On Saturday, I took my daughter to the park, and the plan was to run my errands after that, but my daughter got really fussy, so we came back home. When we walked through the door, I heard the door shut upstairs, footsteps, then another door opening and closing. I thought maybe she had gone into my daughter's room for something, but when I entered my room, there was an empty coffee mug on my bedside table. It wasn't mine. Nothing else was out of place or weird, but that was evidence enough that she had been in my room again. I asked her why she had been in my room this time. She didn't say anything and just stared at me. I said I've had enough of her not following a very simple rule, and I don't want to be uncomfortable in my own home. I said we will cancel the contract and I will pay her the fee for that. She didn't argue with me or defend herself. I told my 2 friends what happened because I asked them to help me find a new nanny. They laughed and asked if I'm seriously firing her over something like that. They said she didn't steal anything or do anything terrible, so it's stupid for me to have fired her. I thought I was totally justified, but they've made me rethink it a bit now. Am I the asshole?
I don't think that he's the asshole.
No, I don't think so either.
I like having my own space.
Yeah.
So I don't think I would like that either.
I think this girl is like weird.
Yeah, it sounds almost like, I don't want to say like a fetish or something like that, but like
Yeah.
if her bathroom is fine and everything, then like why? What's the big deal?
It's so weird. I feel like this made me think of that movie. It's unrelated, but The Orphan. Have you seen that?
I don't know if I have.
It's about a family who adopts a child. She's like 6 and they already have another daughter, I think. And then this new adopted daughter starts becoming like a menace, and all these random things like start going wrong. And then the mom starts doing research on the daughter, and turns out she's like 45 and she just has this medical condition that makes her look like a child.
Oh, wow.
And she was like a murderer or something, or she was getting ready to murder the other daughter or like murder the parents. Oh yeah, I think she fell in love with the dad. So then she was being mean to the mom. And then of course the dad like didn't believe the mom and like, it's like, she's our baby. Yeah.
Ooh.
But it made me think of that because it's like you have these people in your house and you actually have no, like they're a stranger.
Right.
And 95% of nannies off the internet are probably great, wonderful people. But then at the same time, it's like they're literally a stranger. Like, at what point does this person go from being a stranger to just not being a stranger anymore?
Right.
And they're just in your house and in your, like, if I found coffee on my bedside table, I would think that she was like laying in the bed.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. And like, who knows, maybe she just like dropped it there on her way to the shower or whatever, if that's like what she liked to do. But still, either way, I don't think that I would like that. It's also kind of interesting, like the age dynamic, because he's 31 and she was 27.
Oh, very
So like
true.
They're only 4 years apart. You know what I mean? Which like
about that.
Obviously like he's not going to hire someone that's like really, really young either to like be living in. You know what I mean? But I'm like curious what the like dynamic of like their relationship is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But either way, I feel like he set the boundaries multiple times. She didn't even have an excuse for it. Just said, sorry, I won't do it again. And then she did it again. So no, I don't think that he is overreacting by doing that.
I don't think so either. The boundaries thing and the fact that she didn't have an excuse also just creep me out. Like, am I just reading too far into this, or this is kind of scary to me?
Oh no, me too. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And like, you don't want to put like a lock, like you don't want to have to lock your bedroom door when someone's living in your house and caring for your child.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, you know what I mean?
Right. Ew, it's so weird. And I like that he was like, I purposely didn't lock my house or my door because I wanted to see if she would do it again. And she still did it. And it's weird because she knows she's doing something wrong because she's only doing it when he's not there. But it's weird because if she was doing it for an actual reason, like, oh, I just like that bathroom better, or I don't know. I can't think of another reason other than she just likes the aesthetic of that bathroom better.
That's what it has to
be.
be.
A normal reason.
Yeah.
But then I feel like there's a lot of other reasons, like nefarious reasons that she could be in there. And it's like, I feel like she like might be in love with him or something. Or she's like pretending to play house and like mentally in her mind being like, I'm the wife and I'm using the master bedroom or bathroom.
Yeah, that's why I thought like the fetish thing. I'm like, I don't know, there's got to be like a reason why she so badly wants to be in his bedroom and bathroom.
Yes.
Like that.
Ew, it's so creepy to me. And then he's like, why were you in there? And she just stares at him and she's like, I won't do it again.
Yeah, no.
What?
That's enough for me.
He's
and
like, no,
it's
just
obviously
tell me
bothering
why.
him a lot too. Yeah, because like he's willing to pay the fee to terminate their contract and things like that. So I definitely don't think that it's something that he's like overreacting about.
Yeah, I feel like his friends are not gaslighting him like on purpose, but I don't know. I feel like if one of my friends said this and they were like, I keep setting ground rules and the nanny I hired keeps breaking them repeatedly, I wouldn't be like, oh, you're really mad about that. It's like he can fire her for any boundaries that he wants to set, like any part of the contract that she's breaking. I guess that's not written into the contract, but it probably should be. Like they should probably write in where you're allowed to stay and where you're not. I feel like that would give him more grounds to like fire her and not have to pay a fee.
Yeah.
Ew, yeah, creepy. I just thought of The Orphan. I don't like it.
Yeah, and it's also like borderline, like not borderline, it is like respecting your home and things like that. You know what I mean? Like if you're having someone stay with you, then they should respect your home. Yeah. And to me, that's like not really respecting the home.
No, not at all.
But
also, the orphan thing happened in real life. There was actually a story where...
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to watch this tonight.
Yeah. It's kind of old now, but it's so good. I feel like it still holds up. And there was actually a family that adopted... More recently, I feel like this was like 3 or 4 years ago, where a family actually adopted a girl, and then it turns out she's 35. Or like 25 or something. Not that that has anything to do with this, but I'm just like, you don't really know a person. And then if things start to go wrong, it's like, you're allowed to get them out of your house.
Is it scary? It must be like a scary
it's like a horror movie.
I don't know if I'll watch it then.
I guess it's like a psychological thriller.
Okay.
Well, not psychological. I feel like it's like a horror thriller. It's not like blood and guts, but it makes you think.
Okay, maybe I'll try it.
Yeah, I feel like
I get creeped out a little bit quickly.
I feel like you'll be safe because if you start to get scared, you can just remember that you're not in the process of adopting a child.
True. True.
So it's fine.
And if the day ever comes, then I'll be prepared.
Yes.
I'll know what to look out for.
Totally. There was not an overall vote on this post, but the comments did agree, not the asshole. And she obviously knows that she's doing something wrong if, when he asks her, she doesn't have an excuse.
Okay. So we agree with the people of Reddit.
Yes.
1 for 1.
I love when I don't agree with them, though.
I know, me too.
It's fun.
Yeah. Well, and I think it opens our worldview or, our mind. Like, we're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're always open to another opinion.
I agree. Am I the asshole for calling my husband out on his generosity? My husband, 43 male, and I, 43 female, are frequent shoppers at a boutique where we've had the same personal shopper for the past few months. She texts my husband pretty regularly when new merchandise comes in that she thinks I'll like and is absolutely sweet and helpful. Wow, a personal shopper.
Yeah, what's that like?
Wow. Yesterday, while we were in the area, my husband decided we should just stop in the store and see if there's anything I liked. I picked out a pair of shoes knowing that it was all I needed. He, however, honed in on a few more items. Needless to say, what should have been a quick stop in the store was a bit longer and ended with him telling her how amazing she was. On the way out, the store manager, whom I've never met, stopped my husband to greet him and ask to be introduced to me. During that time, the district manager was also with her. So my husband took this opportunity to praise our personal shopper to the two women, talking about how amazing she is, just really laying it on thick. Now here's where I have a problem. Later that night, I was going through his phone to look for pictures of my daughter. It was late at night. I noticed a text pop up from our personal shopper saying, "Oh, you don't have to do that." When I clicked on the text, I saw my husband was again praising her, and in the text offered to buy her a plane ticket across the country because she had mentioned earlier she was hoping to see a relative there. Even though the personal shopper refused, he kept insisting he wanted to do it for her. A few hours later, I commented to him, "Hey, can I see what personal shopper texted you earlier before we came into the store? I want to see if she sent pics of the same products we viewed today." He said okay, but hesitated to hand me his phone. When he did, I noticed the whole thread of him offering to buy her a plane ticket was deleted. So I confronted him on it, and I said I saw it, so why was he holding it back from me? I pointed out omission is the same as lying. He said said he just wants to be generous and thank her for all that she does and knew that I would probably say no. I pointed out that the thank you was us giving her our repeated business and being her loyal customer. I deemed this offer as completely inappropriate and even a little propositional in nature. When I was a server in college, I had a regular give me a small gift, but always refused because my husband, then boyfriend, got mad and said the regular was likely interested in me. I never got anything as extravagant as a plane ticket, though. Am I the asshole? He thinks of it as an innocent gift, whereas I disagree. Something's fishy here.
It's a little suspicious if you ask me.
I don't like it.
I don't like texts being deleted.
I don't like husbands buying gifts for single women.
I want to know how much daddy makes buying plane tickets for the personal shopper. What? Also, that's
So
that should be like a couple's decision together if they're going to do that.
Yes.
That's like, I mean, maybe they got the money to throw around, but...
Yeah. If anything, if this was actually his intention and he was completely faithful to his wife and he was like, oh, this is a nice girl. She works hard. She's always nice. She really needs help to get to her family's thing and money like ain't a thing, which it kind of sounds like it's not.
Yeah.
Wouldn't he say to his wife, hey, I was thinking she does so much for us. She always helps us. Do you think we could give her money as a gift or like a gift card or something as a gift or even a check? I don't know. Or even like at Christmas, I feel like there's a way to do this and be like, hey, I know you mentioned this. This is a thank you. Like, have so much fun. You don't need to be privately texting like, oh, let me make the transaction and buy the plane ticket for you. Like, something weird.
Yeah. Or like even say like, oh, like, like our points or something that we earn like on the credit card. Like, why don't we book her flight for her? She really wants to see her family, something like that.
Yeah.
I just think it's so suspicious that he deleted those texts.
Yes.
That is like not...
No. And then when the wife asked him about it, he's like, well, I knew you would say no. So then why are you doing it? Like, whose money is it? That brings up where if one of these people is the breadwinner and you're married, you're kind of agreeing that this money is your money, not just one person's. It's together, the couple's money. But then, like, if they each have personal spending amounts, like if he really wants to give a gift, I think he should be honest about it, but it should also come from just his side of the spending limits or whatever. Even if it is his salary and he's the breadwinner, it still is her money if they have a daughter together, even if she doesn't have a job. So I don't like it.
No, me either. And it sounds like OP, maybe like in the comments there's follow-ups, but it sounds like she didn't mention anything about like cheating or him being interested. Really, like that doesn't seem to be a thought to her. But like for me, it's like, like he's just being a little maybe too generous for my liking with this personal shopper of his. Yeah, I don't know about that.
I don't like it at all.
I don't like it.
And if he had good intentions, he would be able to tell his wife the intentions. Like if we're talking like Hermes, I think they have personal shoppers or not even personal shoppers, but sales associates that will give you like the exclusive, like first dibs on an exclusive limited edition thing. So if you're really trying to woo this sales associate and then get first dibs at this stuff, your wife should also know about that. Like if that's the intention or the thank you, like you and your wife shop there together. Like all of these decisions should be made together. It's just so bizarre. Everyone voted not the asshole. The top comment was not the asshole. He knows he's doing something weird because he deleted the text. Also, that poor shopper being pressured with an extravagant gift. Your husband is being gross. Yeah. Ooh, someone said, I wonder what else was deleted that OP didn't see beforehand.
Oh, yeah, that's true too.
Yeah. Ew. What would you do next?
I'd be finding a new favorite store to shop at, and same for him. I think I would have to have a real serious conversation.
Yeah.
And like raise why this is concerning to me.
Right.
I
think a very, very open and honest conversation, maybe in a few days, like after this first happened, where you like come prepared in a calm manner with all your points and tell him, let him respond. And I also feel like, we have to cut off the personal shopper. And then I was thinking about the idea of like trust being earned recently. And it's like, oh, do you not trust your husband to keep shopping in this store? And it's like, well, you don't automatically just trust someone. Like they have to earn the trust. And I feel like what he now needs to do to earn the trust back is never talk to this woman again. And if he can't do that, then trust is being broken and this is no longer a completely healthy relationship.
Yeah, and it's hard too because obviously, like, I'm sure that she has a relationship with the personal shopper herself as well.
Oh yeah.
So like obviously, like, you don't want to like be like, oh, well, like, we're not going to be your clients anymore, even like, after she's like been really good to them, it sounds, for the last couple of years. So I would maybe try to have a conversation first with him and like raise like, this is why I don't like that. You know what I mean? Like, you should have asked me. We could have had a conversation about this. We're supposed to be a team. Kind of go from that perspective, but it would be hard for me to trust.
Right.
You know,
that's a good point because I didn't think about that. This girl really did nothing wrong. She's just being approached by one of her clients. So I guess it would kind of be unfair to her for this couple to just fully stop working with her because the husband made a mistake.
Right. Like, it could be like, you know, the case that we've heard before a lot, like a creepy man, you know, like, I don't know if he's, I don't want to say that he's like preying on her or anything like that because that's like a pretty harsh accusation, but sounds like he's a little overly generous.
Yeah.
Just like OP had written.
Right. I don't like it.
I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all, one bit.
Ew, he's so weird. It's just like creepy.
Yeah. I don't think his wife is in the wrong.
Yeah. Also, I just think that there's a balance and a line when it comes to business and personal relationships. And I know that sometimes those lines get crossed and it's fine. But if this is your client, I feel like it almost is weird for them to be like, let me book you a plane ticket. Like, if anything, I'm thinking from personal experience, if it was one of my clients and we were just talking openly in the process, maybe before or after working together, and I'm like, yeah, I really want to, you know, make it out to California, visit my family. I wouldn't find it completely weird if they were like, as a thank you. I mean, it would be insanely generous and I would never expect it, but I'm just saying, like, if one of my wonderful clients were to say this to me, I wouldn't want to accept it, but I wouldn't find it weird if they were like, oh, well, that's not even that much. Like, we'd love to gift it to you as a thank you. I would definitely be like, oh my God, no, like, you do not have to do that. And that's not why I was telling you. Like, that's too much. But I wouldn't automatically think that they were creepy. I would just be like, maybe they're very wealthy and they're very kind and want to give back. And like, I don't know. So I feel like it's not always weird to cross those lines. But at the same time, it's like, if you really want to give her a gift, just don't. It's just like weird that the husband is choosing this like really personal matter to get involved in. If anything, give her like a little bit of a bonus and be like, you just use that for whatever you need.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. It's also weird, I think, that he's singing her so much praise or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just that, but like he was texting her again saying like, oh, you're like so good, blah, 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 blah. Like, I don't know. It seems like to me, it seems like there's another motivation for it. You know what I mean? In the way that OP had written it sounded like they already like really hyped her up to like her manager and things like that.
Right.
So then she had said like, why was he texting her again about that too?
Yeah. And I just think that everything should be coming from like a team aspect. Like if this guy really did feel that way, which, you know, maybe he does. Maybe he is just very generous and also honest. But if that was the case, shouldn't it be like a group text with the wife and the shopper and they make this decision together? I just think that's the most honest way to go, and something's up.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Me neither. You're shady.
I'm curious about the comments.
OP said that the personal shopper is probably in her 20s, a gorgeous blonde, real bubbly. My husband is a looker, very distinguishing looking. Oh, what a distinguished gentleman. But he's always expressed that he was ugly growing up, so I know this is an insecurity. Oh.
Here's the layers. It's like peeling back the onion.
Yeah. OP said we have multiple businesses, one of them being which he is partner of a niche law firm. So wealthy is speculative here, I guess. Okay. What does that mean?
Sounds pretty wealthy to me.
Yeah. Like she wants to be like, we're wealthy, but we're not the richest people in the world.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're wealthy enough to put a flight on whatever credit card or pay cash and your wife not notice it maybe.
True.
You know?
Also wealthy enough to have a personal shopper. I feel like just that's a standard that many people in life are not at that level.
I can't even afford Stitch Fix, so I mean, I'm not getting an in-person personal shopper.
Personal shopper. I'm like, whew, okay.
That'd be nice, though.
Yeah, could you imagine? No, I can't. Well, I could only. I heard this girl say, it's weird when you say, I can't imagine that, because it's like actually the only possible thing you could do is imagine.
Right.
But no, there are things you can't imagine. Anyway, that's irrelevant. Every single comment is not the asshole.
Okay.
Someone said, I have no clue what kind of phone boundaries you have with your husband. However, it doesn't change the fact that you happen to see it. You brought it up because something wasn't right and he hid that from you. I've been in retail and helped my fair share of people. I've even been rewarded from things as small as a Coke to as big as a lunch or $20. But a plane ticket can cost hundreds of dollars and seems a little exorbitant in nature. OP said, we have a completely open phone policy with each other, which is why I was able to go on and look for photos, but now I'm starting to question what else he possibly deleted in the past and present. Oh, this is so sad. Yeah, I think it starts with a conversation, but I don't even know if she wants to know the answer.
Yeah, it's definitely a conversation needs to be had.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that I'm not the only one whose like brain went that direction with it. You know what I mean? That's immediately what I thought. Like,
yeah,
there's other, like, because that could be something small, considered small to him.
True.
You know, I don't know.
Very sketchy.
Okay,
guys, this one's insane. I should have started with this one. This is just absolutely shocking.
Ooh.
Am I the asshole for checking my husband's dash cam footage on his car without his consent? I, 34 female, live with my husband, 37 male, and daughter, 7 female. My daughter and I recently went on a short trip out of state while my husband stayed as he had work and was supposed to look after our dog. On the last day of our trip, we got a call from my husband who was acting distraught and said that our dog Ellie had run away and that he could not find her. He claimed she just bolted away from him in the park into some bushes and he couldn't find her. Our dog is quite small, a mini poodle mix and almost 13 years old, but she is still active, but it is really unlike her to run away from us, and I was suspicious but chose to believe my husband, and me and my daughter were in grief but did not want to blame him. When we came back home, he seemed surprisingly okay, unlike us. Ever since the pandemic, my husband started working from home, and he has always been annoyed at how much attention we give Ellie and hated how Ellie begged to sit on our laps and his while he worked. A few days later, we got a call from an animal rescue in a neighboring state quite far from us that she had been found. I picked up the phone, and it was on our landline, which we almost never use these days, but was the contact on the microchip. I told my husband, and he just said, "That is great. I am so happy." But it kind of felt blunt and insincere. I said it is strange that she got so far, and he responded that someone must have stolen her and then abandoned her. This made little sense to me as to why that would happen. When he was out drinking with his buddies, I copied the videos from his dash cam for the days I was away and saw that he had indeed taken Ellie far out of state and clearly dropped her in front of his car, thrown a frisbee-like object into a field, yelled fetch, and drove off without her. I was livid and confronted him, and he just stupidly muttered how he dropped her there so she could find a farm and have a better life, and then the next day got really angry at me for viewing his dash cam and called me and my daughter the assholes.
Oh my God.
What?
That's terrible. What? That's terrible. Divorce. That's horrible.
I seriously think that would warrant divorce. Like, if nothing else was wrong, that is psychotic.
Yeah, that's craziness. And there's a lot. We talked about this on another episode. How, like, there's research about how people treat animals and how it, like, turns into something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nuts.
And
he wants them to go out and get a new puppy now? Now you got a potty train, so not only is it sitting in your lap while you're working, but it's shitting on the floor next to you, too.
Yeah, so true.
Because I'd be getting another dog.
Yeah, I feel like most people that have dogs, when they pass away, or I guess run away forever, like, they get a new dog.
Mm-hmm.
So what does he think is going to happen? His 7-year-old daughter, who's known a dog her entire life, and his wife, who is just in love with their dog, they're both just going to be like, yeah, let's just never have a dog again. Like, he's going to never hear the end of it.
Yeah, how could you do that to, like, people that you love when also, they love this animal?
Yeah.
And an animal. How do you do that?
You really just pulled an Air Bud and left your dog in the middle of a field just to die? Like, you know for a fact the dog isn't just going to happily find a farm and just be living on it and be happy forever. Like, something is going to happen. Like, did you not think that first of all, the guy's just dumb to think that this plan would actually work, but it's also cruel. I just am so confused by this. Yeah. How did he think this was going to work? And he thought this was the best option.
Yeah, well, he didn't think it through, obviously, and props to her for being on her toes.
Yeah.
Because she saw right through the bullshit.
I feel like people just give themselves away. Like, I don't listen to that many true crime podcasts or things, but it always seems like they figure it out because the person who's guilty says something that's just like a little too weird, or it's like, well, how would they know that happened? Like, why would that be the thing that they would suggest? Like, oh, maybe this happened. It's like, where did you get that? Where did you get that idea? It almost seems like that's what you want us to think.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's how people find out that they're guilty. And it's like, he did the same thing.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, you know what? Someone probably must have just stolen her and taken her 3 states away. And it's like, why would you think that? Like, why would that be the first thing you thought of? Wouldn't you just think like, oh, my dog ran away and I couldn't find her? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's not weird to like speculate and be like, oh, well, maybe somebody just took her. But the fact that it's that and he wasn't upset about it, he was just being so dry and being like, yeah, somebody must have just took her, and not like crying when he said it. Like, if you loved your dog, like, wouldn't you be crying about
and like feel guilty because like technically the dog was under his watch, like they were away, you know what I mean? Yeah, no, I don't know.
Ew, it's getting weirder and weirder the more I think about it.
I'd be pulling more of those dash cams. Jeez.
True.
That's wild. Like, I don't know. I just feel like if he were really struggling with it, like there are so many different options to do for the dog. Like if the dog was really in his way while he was working from home and stuff, then like they could look into like doggy daycare or having someone come by to walk the dog during the middle of the day, or figuring out a different place for the dog to go in the house during the day while he's working. Like there are so many options that they could have explored rather than just like, let me pick up and throw this dog away while you guys are out of town.
Yeah. And also like if he was actually at his wit's end, because some people do just, I mean, it's so sad, but they do just get to a point where they don't feel that they can take care of a dog. I actually know someone that happened to, and it was so sad. And the person that I know felt horrible rehoming their dog, but they knew that they couldn't take care of it as well as somebody else could. And they were like sobbing and so upset to do it, but they rehomed their dog. And that's an option too. It's like if this guy was seriously struggling mentally to the point where he's like, I cannot handle having this dog, I feel like he could have talked to his wife about it and been like, I'm so sorry, but I cannot handle this. And I need something to be done about it, kind of like what you were saying. Yeah. And I guess the last case resort would be rehoming the dog. But it seems that he has no empathy.
No.
And it seems that he's not doing it out of like a last case resort. It's almost like he is jealous of the attention that the wife and the daughter are giving to the dog. And it's like, why are you jealous of a dog? Are you feeling unloved or insecure? Because that's a separate problem. That's not the dog's fault. Yeah. And you're probably going to feel even more because then they're going to be like, what is going on here? Yeah. It sounds like he has no remorse. Like you were saying, like, no. Yeah. And a lot of red flags. So many red flags.
And the dog's 13. It's not like a brand new puppy.
I know.
It's already old. I mean, honestly, like dogs don't live that much longer after 13 usually, depending on what kind of dog it is. But
yeah, sad to say it, but the dog was probably not going to live that much longer.
No. Yeah.
And how could you do that to your wife and your daughter? Your 7-year-old daughter?
Yeah, and you've had the dog for that long, and now you just decide, like, I don't want this anymore. Like, that would make me think you're going to do that with me.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want me anymore. Like, you're going to wake up one day and get rid of me.
I actually feel like I've heard that this is a very common occurrence. Like, there's a lot of dogs, and I guess all animals, but especially dogs that get dumped on the side of the road. And it's like, do you know how many people want a dog?
Right.
And how many people would love to take this dog and give it a loving home, but instead you left it on the side of, like, what if nobody found it? Right. What if it just went into a field and it just kept going into like a desert or something and then it just died? Like, you don't care about that? Right.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing too. This guy's kind of a dumbass.
Yeah.
He had to have known that the dog was microchipped.
Right.
So it's either you're hoping that the dog dies.
I think that's what he was hoping.
Like, yeah, that would have to be, because the only other option would be that the dog will be found and they're going to call you.
Yeah.
To come pick the dog up.
Right.
And then I also would be afraid, too, if I were her, to bring the dog home with him there, because what's he going to do to the dog?
Yeah.
You know, he already tried it once.
Yeah. I don't like this.
I don't like this guy at all.
He just ended his whole marriage, I think.
Yeah.
Over a dog.
That would be really hard for me to trust him again.
Yeah. It just seems like he has no empathy or remorse, and that is scary. Ew, I hate it.
There's got to be more going on here.
Definitely.
Maybe like some family counseling. And like, how could you do that to your daughter?
Yeah.
I know how attached I was to like my pets growing up.
I know.
I still think about my dog that passed away, my last dog that we had.
I think about my bunny that I had for 6 years.
We had bunnies too. What was your bunny's name?
Thumper.
Wait,
from Bambi?
Yes, wait, mine was Gunther and Bambi. I had Bambi. I named the rabbit Bambi, I know. But Gunther, Bambi, and Baller. I had 3 rabbits growing up.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
My sister and I wanted to get a second rabbit and name it Wilbur. I don't know why, but I guess that's also from a movie. I love her. I've said this on the podcast before, but I actually still think about her and I'm like, I love that girl so much. Like, she is such queen. I miss her and I just adore her and I love her.
Would you bring her inside? Like, did she live inside?
Yeah, she lived in the house and she was more similar to a dog than most people like treat their rabbits.
Really?
Like, most people keep their rabbits in a cage, which is so sad because rabbits have, I'm sure you know, personalities just like, I mean, most animals do, but rabbits are very similar to dogs in my opinion. She would run around the house. She would come up to people. Like, she loved cuddling and playing, and she probably wouldn't have run away. Like, in the yard, I feel like she would have always, I mean, we never like risked it because we live near a busy road. So we never just let her freely run in the backyard, but we would take her outside all the time, like on a leash and stuff. And she played with all of our friends. Yeah. She was just, and she ran around the house. Yeah. My dad was very much like, you cannot get a pet and have it sit in a cage. Like, that's not a life. So not that he forced us to because we wanted to, but he would never let us go 2 days in a row without her coming out of the cage. Like, even one day in a row would be like, he would, like, we would all start to feel bad.
Yeah, we would take ours out a lot too. The one was like not as like friendly, but the other ones were like very friendly and like to like come out. We also had dogs though, so it was kind of hard because the dogs didn't love the rabbits coming inside as much. Because our rabbits stayed like separate from like the inside.
A lot of people do keep them outside, and I don't think that's like cruelty because rabbits are like naturally outdoor creatures.
We had a cool like thing made for them too.
Like a little like a habitat kind
of. Yeah, like they had like a big thing that was like filled with straw. We still have it at my house. And then like a huge like they like had an upstairs that like they could walk up the steps. And then like a little thing for them to slide down, and like it was like literally like their own little house.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, it was really cute.
Yeah, that's not like a cage. I feel like we had a very normal sized indoor cage for her, so that's why we had to let her out. Like, she couldn't really move too much in there.
We had like a hole in like the bottom of ours. It was like slotted, so like the poop would just fall down, and then we had like a little tray that like
we
pulled
had that
out
too,
and
actually,
everything.
in one of our, or I think both of ours.
Did it? Yeah, and it made it so much easier. I mean, we still would have to like clean it a decent amount, but and my dad like had a huge garden, so like he would use like the rabbit's poop for like good fertilizer and things like that. It was a whole like thing. I'm trying to get him to get chickens now. I really want him to get chickens because I'm like, Dad, eggs are like not cheap.
I know. I love the idea of having chickens and then eating their eggs, because then you don't have to buy eggs from the egg industry. I would love that. And also, my rabbit was potty trained. They potty train themselves. Yeah, so that's why I forgot about that tray for a second. But rabbits are naturally very clean animals, and they don't want to poop in their own like living room basically. So if you give it a litter box, it will probably litter box train itself. If not, you can take like a little bit of the poop and put it into the litter box, so then it knows like, oh, that's where poop goes, and it will go in there. Like, she went in a litter box 90% of the times. There would be random times, even when running around the whole house. Like, we had one just in one part of the, like, near the side door, kind of like how people have a litter box for a cat. You just put it in like a weird spot, and then she would go in there literally 90% of the time. There would be like small times where she wouldn't. But rabbits are actually such great pets. They're so cute.
I would love to have another pet at one point, sometime soon-ish maybe.
It's hard when you just become an adult and you're like living in an apartment, like kind of how like the stage that we're at in life. It's easier to be selfish and just, you know, not have to tend to an animal, but the love you get from an animal is just like
but in other ways, I don't think it is selfish, because it's like we're selfless for not getting an animal that we're not going to be able to like give like the best life, you know. So that's the only reason why I haven't been doing it. But no, I know, like, selfish as in like I know what I want right now.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like a little bit of both.
You're right. It is selfless actually, because everyone would want a pet but wouldn't want to give the energy to take care of it. Yeah, that's a good point.
But you're like, you know, and whatever, you know what you want.
Yeah, putting yourself first for now instead of putting
which is fine
first.
Too.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Oh, wow. Yeah, just see how much love pets elicit, and this guy just is filled with hatred when thinking about his pet.
Yeah, we don't like him.
No, I think she has to, I don't know, honestly, she might have to get out of there. If she can't have an honest conversation with him where he like breaks down and shows her remorse and empathy and like genuine sadness, and if she can't see like, oh, this person is just struggling and they were at their wits end and they were like, this is the only thing I can do to get out of this horrible situation. Like, this guy would have to show her that was or at least if it was me, I would need to see that, or I would just be like, you are a heartless, crazy person.
Yeah, me too. Like, I would need to see that he's being like, I've been feeling this way and this way and this way, and like, that's why I acted this way, and my judgment was clouded because I feel like everything came crashing down.
Yeah.
And then this is what I'm going to do to make myself better.
Yeah.
That's what I would need to hear.
This person would need to like beg for my forgiveness and tell me everything honestly. And if I felt like they weren't being honest, I think I would have to be like, you're crazy.
Yeah.
Sorry. Ew, that's so weird, dude. Like, how do people think like this?
I don't know.
It's so weird.
Yeah, and like, I don't know, you can't just like stop loving this animal because it's like old or whatever is like the issue, you know what I mean? I had trouble with that. Our one dog was blind, deaf, had no teeth, literally, and would just like wander around the house and like bump into things and like all the time. And like, but like, he was our childhood, you know, tiny toy poodle, like cute dog.
Did he just lose his
with age? Okay. Yeah, he literally, when he passed away, I think he was like 21.
Oh my God.
Like, he was a very old dog.
21?
Yeah, he was like old.
Wow.
So
you guys must have taken good care of him.
Yeah.
Fed him right.
Yeah, he was old. Like, I think they had him before I was even born.
Wow.
They did. Yeah, they had him before I was even born. So, but again, he was like nasty by the end, but like, we all still loved him so much. And like, he had accidents and like, he was doing all these things, but it was like, it's not his fault. He's old, you know? Like, you can't you can't just say like, ugh, I don't want this anymore.
A lot of people do, which is so sad. Like, giving puppies back to the shelter after the Christmas present, like, joy has worn off. Yeah. And they're like, oh, wait, this is actually a child, not just a fun little puppy at Christmas.
Wait, did you ever see the video of that couple? I'm sorry, we keep going on tangents.
No, it's okay.
Now. Did you ever see the video of that couple where the guy was like, the wife was waiting for her husband to come home to surprise him with the puppy? So he came in and she was like, wait, I have something for you. And he was like, no, like, stop. No, like, stop. You're not being serious right now. And she like brought out, like, showed him the puppy or whatever. And then he's like, I need you to come outside. He got her a puppy too. So they had two puppies and they both decided to surprise each other with the puppies on the same day.
That's so
Isn't that hilarious? Also, a lot of more responsibility, double. But I guess if you have one, I mean, what's two at that point?
A lot of people do have two. And then I feel like that makes it easier because then you can just let the dogs go play in the yard together. Yeah, like it'll entertain
occupy
them.
yourselves. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it was just funny.
So cute.
Cute little story. Hopefully those ones are doing well. They were cute pups.
I'm sure they are if that was how that was the origin story.
Yeah.
Was love and a surprise.
Yeah.
So sweet. Oh my gosh, what to do next? Let's talk about engagement rings.
Ooh.
I always love engagement ring drama, as I'm sure avid listeners know. I feel like the stories that I pick, it always goes back to like weddings, family drama, and engagement rings. Like that's and relationships, but I feel like there's so much stuff within relationships. But I just love a good engagement ring drama.
Oh, same.
My wife, 28 female, decided not to wear the ring I, 28 male, got her. My wife and I have been together for 13 years total. Her wedding ring is moderately flashy, but nothing amazing. Her childhood friend gifted her a pretty flashy ring for her birthday. I thought it was awesome, but she wears it instead of mine. Not on her ring finger, but on her other fingers. I asked why she does this, and she claims she doesn't want to lose it, or she forgets to put it back on after taking it off to do housework or work from home. This weekend, we were invited to an anniversary party. We were all ready and noticed she was wearing her friend's ring and not her wedding ring, so I asked her if she was going to put it on. She said no, that she was okay with it, and hurried out the door. I asked her why she wasn't going to wear it. She claimed it didn't match her outfit. It didn't sit right with me, so I asked her if she liked her friend's ring better than the one that I bought her. She said no and to drop it. I said no, I want to know why you decide to wear her ring and not the one I gave you on our wedding day. She didn't say anything, but told me I sure knew how to ruin a night. She was upset pretty much the whole time. I just want to know why she decides to not wear my ring. Any advice or ideas?
She don't like that ring. Or she don't like you.
I feel like either one of those could be the option, but this is kind of sad.
Wedding rings and buying things like that are really hard with like the surprise aspect, but then you're expected to be wearing it every day. Like that is hard, you know, but I wish that she would be truthful and honest, because I feel like there's likely more to it than just that she forgets to put it on.
I know. It's hard too, because I feel like sometimes people's taste changes. So even if she loved this ring when they first got together, it's possible that her taste could have changed and now she doesn't like it as much, which would just suck.
Yeah, but like I feel like you don't really control that, you know. It's like you're wearing that ring for life.
It's kind of hard too, because it's like, if she were to tell him, would he react in a positive way? Because I kind of feel like if she told him like, hey, you might have noticed I haven't been wearing my wedding ring as much, I've been choosing to wear this other one, it has nothing to do with you, my taste is changing a little bit, I feel like I don't like the ring as much as I did when we first got engaged. It's like, how would he respond to that?
Yeah.
Because if he would respond to that and be like, what do you mean you don't like your ring? Do you not love me? Right. Like, maybe she's avoiding one of those. So I think regardless, they need to be honest with each other, but maybe there's a reason why she's maybe nervous to be honest. Because it could be insulting if someone said, I don't like the ring that was our wedding ring. But also if they had a completely healthy relationship and realized that a ring doesn't represent a marriage, it just represents your taste in jewelry, then maybe he would be able to take a step back and be like, oh, okay, let's get you a ring that you want to wear to represent our marriage and that you love.
Right.
But who knows if that's how he would have responded. I guess that's all speculation though, because we have no idea what would have happened if that was the case.
I'm curious too, like if when they had first got engaged she was wearing it all the time and then she stopped. Like he didn't really mention that, did he? Like, did he say
she wears it instead of it? No, yeah, I feel like he didn't really say.
I mean, they've been together for 13 years. They can't be honest with each other at that point. Like, you know, I don't know that I could give her the benefit of the doubt on this one, because I feel like everyone that I know, at least in my life, that has gotten engaged has wanted to wear their like ring, you know what I mean? And like has gotten married has wanted to wear their ring. So I don't know.
I know that my mom and some of her sisters will wear their wedding bands instead of their engagement ring, and then my mom will wear her engagement ring and her wedding band on more special occasions. But I can see how you wouldn't want to always wear it. I also think it's so hard because it's like totally a debate of like, are you okay with your partner not wearing their ring just because it's not like their style? Like my dad, for example, who was I talking? It might have been when Kelee was on the podcast, we were talking about rings, but my dad has never worn a wedding band.
Either.
Okay,
never.
Maybe it was us that was talking about it.
Yeah, it was us, yeah.
He worked in a factory-like setting. He worked with his hands and his career, and he is just not a jewelry person. If I ever saw my dad wearing jewelry, I'd be like, who are you?
Yeah, that's how it's same with my dad, yeah.
Yeah, and I know a lot of men are like that, but then also the only jewelry they wear is a ring, so it's like personal preference, I guess. But looking at my parents' marriage and who they are, it's like my dad just never wore a wedding ring, and they had a very wonderful marriage and a faithful marriage. And maybe my mom said something at first like, why are you not wearing it? But by the time I was born and was old enough to understand that people sometimes wear rings when they're married, and it's sometimes weird if they don't wear a ring when they're married, it's like by the time I was able to understand that, my mom was over it, basically. Right. And it's never a topic of conversation. Like it has come up and I'm like, oh, why don't you wear a wedding ring? And my dad's like, not a jewelry guy, I just don't like rings. Yeah. I'm like, okay, that just works for some people. So if that could work for this couple, I feel like they need to have a conversation, but it kind of seems like it's not working for this couple. I don't know. I think honesty is what needs to happen here. But what, you don't think you can't, you're not really on the girl side in this? What do you think?
No, I don't think so. Well, I just feel like there's more to it, maybe. Yeah. Maybe he just needs to have like a conversation about like, I need you to be honest with me. Like, I'm still feeling like you don't like it or like whatever. And I want to, you know what I mean, address this, like, even if they had to get a different something, I don't know. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or maybe she's just like, I don't want to wear an like, I don't want a ring on that finger. And I guess that's like autonomy. This was like our scandal. Yeah. Where people got mad at us because I couldn't say this one word, and then there was we're not doing that again. We can't. We'll be getting people. Yeah. like autonomy over her own body if she doesn't want to wear the ring, like, I guess. But I don't know. For me personally, I feel like that's something, like, if I were to ever get engaged or married, like, I would like to wear the ring.
Yeah,
you know,
me too.
Personally. But I guess it's a personal preference too. It could be. Yeah. Maybe a good discussion lies ahead for this.
Yeah, I think couple. So too.
It's not like the end of the world, it seems, but
I agree.
I wouldn't want it to fester into anything else and become like a thing of him feeling insecure in their relationship.
Yeah. The only thing that makes me sad, because it's like, if she just doesn't like the ring, then just figure it out. Just get a new ring. It's not the biggest deal. If you have a wonderful, healthy marriage and the problem that you're facing right now is, I don't like this style ring, I think that's a fine problem to have after 13 years of marriage. So he just needs to emotionally prepare for that. But I kind of don't like that she's like, you really know how to ruin a night. I mean, maybe he could have, I don't know how he brought it up to her, but I guess it was kind of like when they were walking out the door to go to a family party. It was when he was like, well, why aren't you wearing it? And she's like, dude, just relax. But so yeah, maybe he could have brought it up in a different setting, but she needs to also be open with him and talk about the real reason. And if she can't be open with him, I feel like that's when I would be like, okay, well, what's going on then? Like, what do you feel like you can't be honest with me about? Right. What are you scared of? Like, what are you scared will happen if you're honest with me? And then that conversation needs to happen.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
The second top comment is actually, have you emotionally prepared yourself to potentially hear that she hates it? Other top comments, she hates the original ring. Bestie knew it and got her the ring she actually wanted. OP said, that's not a far-fetched conclusion, TBH. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, that's hard. I mean,
it's a little bit weird, though, that she's a married woman and she's like, I don't like my engagement ring. So her best friend and her were like, well, let's just have the BFF gift a ring to me and I'll just wear it instead of my wedding ring. And I'll just assume that my husband's never going to ask or wonder why.
Right. And at the end of the day, even if you were to get like another ring, like he said that she doesn't wear it on her ring finger. Right. But so it really isn't like replacing the engagement ring. You're still just not wearing a ring on that finger then.
Right.
Which maybe she was like, I don't want to offend him, so I'm just going to wear it on another finger. But like, you could wear your engagement ring and wear another piece of jewelry. People do that all the time, right?
Yeah.
So
I feel like sometimes like things are so easy. If you're in a healthy relationship with someone who's emotionally mature, it can be so easy to get this resolved. Like if she didn't like her engagement ring, she could be like, hey babe, we've been together for 13 years. Like I'm thinking maybe it's time for an upgrade. Like we've all grown up. We've upgraded our lives. Like we're doing well.
Right.
I think maybe it's time to upgrade the engagement ring. I'm thinking something like this. And even if it's not bigger, it could be smaller.
Right.
And she's just like, this is what I'm into now. How do you feel? Like, do you want to upgrade your wedding band? Are you good with your wedding band? Like, make it a fun thing. Yeah. Like, it doesn't have to be this, like, secret
Make a vow renewal. Do a vow renewal.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, people upgrade their wedding rings all the time as they go on. And if people make more money, I've known people that have upgraded their ring and
yeah, or like use like the diamond from the ring to add to another ring. You know what I mean? Like people do that all the time, I feel like.
I know someone who upgraded their ring and then that original diamond went to her now daughter-in-law. So her son proposed using her original diamond. And now that this family is, you know, they're so far into their careers, she was able to upgrade her ring. And I just think that if this person who I'm talking about, when this couple had the conversation of like, I think I'm going to upgrade my ring, I really just think that the response wasn't, well, did you not like my original engagement ring I got you? It's like, that has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Like you're allowed to want a new piece of jewelry and you can still love your partner just the same.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Interesting. These are all very interesting.
Right?
The sus or whatever you had said, like you were thinking about naming this episode. They're all very interesting.
Right. Because it's like, is it weird? Like, is it fishy?
Yeah.
Or is there reasons for it? I mean, some of them, like the dog one, that was just like straight up bizarre.
Horrible.
Yeah. But some of them I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. Should we do one more?
Yeah.
This is a sad one. Okay. Am I wrong to ask my boyfriend for his social security number? I want to run a background check on my boyfriend. I'm pretty sure he's a catfish. We have been talking for over a year and have never met in person. He says his phone is broken and we have never spoken face to face on a video call. He has asked me for money, promising to pay me back, and I haven't seen a penny. I gave him money for a flight and he canceled it. He didn't return the flight money. He makes me send him money through crypto.com. He doesn't sound like a scammer. anymore. He sounds like he cares. He has decent excuses, but he has avoided visiting me in person. And he has admitted to lying to me about how he spent some of the money I sent him. He wants my login info for my ID.com. He says he needs it to complete an application so he can get money to visit me. Something about me being a personal reference. But he won't explain what the application is for in detail, and he won't let me fill it out myself. So I told him if he needs that info, he should give me the same info in return. He says he doesn't have a social security number, even though he was apparently filling out financial paperwork. He won't give me his state ID number either for a license or something. Am I wrong for asking? Am I wrong for wanting to run a background check on him?
Is he like undocumented or something?
I think he's a catfish. I don't think she has a boyfriend.
Yeah, no. Well, she said he's not suspicious, girl. Huh?
What's not suspicious?
The whole thing is suspicious. Read back the post.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it sucks, but it sounds like he got played hard.
Yeah, and never.
Do not give him that information.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
No.
I feel like sometimes people, when they're like caught up in emotion, they'll be like, he's really great on paper, but not that she said this, but this is kind of like the feeling that I'm getting from this is he's really great on paper, but there's like just a few things that are wrong. When really they mean like, I'm emotionally attached to him, but on paper, he's bad.
Yeah.
So, like, this is like, if you wrote down all this guy's quality on paper, any reasonable person would be able to be like, this is not it. But I feel like she's so caught up in emotion that she's like, he doesn't seem like a scammer. Like, all the evidence, he doesn't seem like a scammer. It's like, what does a scammer seem like then?
Yeah.
If this is not a scammer.
Yeah. It's like, oh, yeah, it is a blizzard outside, but I brought gloves, so, and nothing else. Like, I don't have a coat, I don't have a hat, whatever, but I have gloves. Like, it's fine. Everything's fine. No big deal.
Yeah,
girl.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, just please. Nope.
Also, just lesson to everyone. Don't get in a relationship with someone if you've never seen their face or spoken to them on the phone.
Yeah.
It's so easy. Also, never give money to someone over the internet that you don't know.
No. I don't know. Just sending money over the internet in general is like a little scary to me and not something that I'm interested in. And
the fact that he wants it in crypto, because it's like he maybe just doesn't live in the United States, so he doesn't want United States dollars, but crypto can be valuable anywhere. So why would a reasonable person want money in crypto when if they were living in the United States, which it seems like he's telling her because she's asking for his state driver's license ID number. So why would someone in the United States that just needs money for a flight or for like a travel visa or something, why would they want that in crypto? It would be more steps and more complicated if you paid someone in crypto currently in the United States. It would be way easier if you just Venmoed them $500 for a flight. But because he doesn't want it that way, I feel like it's even more telling.
Yeah, no, I agree.
This is so sad.
Also,
sorry.
Yeah, and you don't want to be with the man who, well, okay, how do I say this nicely? Do you really want to be with a man who like can't even pay for his own flight to come see you for a little bit? Or isn't trying to find solutions to make something work like that? And he's already asking you for like money all the time and things like that. Like you're taking on another person's responsibilities then at that point, and he's not being responsible for himself or finding a way to like save up money to come and see you and meet you in person if, you know, you guys are in this relationship together.
Yeah. And also, have you ever talked about where the relationship is going to go? And it's like, if he can't afford to come and see you now, well, exactly what is he doing to be able to make that a possibility in the future? Or is he just like, oh, I have no money, so the only time I'm going to see you is you're going to pay for me to come and see you? Is that going to happen every single time? Does he tell you about his job? And if he has a job, what's that story? Like, it's a little too good to be true. It's really sad, though, that I feel like sometimes people are so harshly judged for falling for this stuff when maybe they just really craved emotional connection and they got manipulated. Like, that doesn't make you a bad person and it doesn't make you stupid. It just makes you a victim of manipulation. And it's really sad, but also a lesson.
Yeah, and when you're recognizing this, then like that's the sign to walk away.
Yes, exactly.
And no longer allow yourself to be manipulated by this person.
I'm glad that they at least stopped themselves and thought to ask for outside help and opinions before they gave this person their ID .me whatever login, because then she's done.
Yeah.
When they have her social, sorry.
Yeah, that is not even a question.
Yeah.
Not even a question. Do not give that information out.
No. And be wary of catfishes. I would say don't get into a relationship with someone who you've never met in person and you've never heard their voice and you've never met them over FaceTime.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. And I get that, like, there is a world out there where people really do enjoy, like, the online dating thing and being in relationships and not living near each other and things like that. But when it comes to your own money, your finances, your personal information, that's a hard line. You can't allow that to be crossed.
I agree.
So it's okay. You know better.
Yes.
And don't give them any of that. Try to get them to pay you back. And then,
I don't know if that's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen either. But try to get them to pay you back and then never talk to them again.
She should do a reverse scam on him. Like, you know how a lot of times on Instagram, I guess it's not just Instagram, but email or whatever messages that people get where they're like, will you cash app me $200 and then I'll cash app you back $800? And people fall for that. She should do something along those lines and be like, it's gonna cost me like $80 or however much money she gave him, like $100 to use this new thing on crypto.com or like to open a new account or transaction fees or something. Will you Venmo me $300 and then I'll cash app you or crypto.com the $1,000 you need, and just like try to get something out of him, because I've seen people do the reverse scamming thing and some people it's worked on.
Wow.
But then if that works, then you have to change your name, delete your email addresses, like block everything from this person, because this is not a real person. This is a scammer.
Not a bad idea, though, and it sounds like he deserves to be scammed himself.
Yeah, I think so. Ugh, sorry. This episode was fun.
Yeah, it was. A lot of fishiness.
I like talking about suspicious people.
Yeah, a little sus.
I'm interested to hear about other people's like scamming stories. If any of the listeners have stories that seem to fit this theme, that would be interesting. I would love to hear them. Yeah,
it's interesting too now how like a lot of companies send out those like, is it phishing?
Yes.
Phishing?
Yeah.
Those emails to try to tempt their employees to click the links.
Employees?
Yeah. So
shut up.
Companies internally now do like test emails to see like if employees will fall for them, to try to like bring more awareness to like that wasn't a real email and like you should have like noticed it because of like this and this.
Oh, okay. So they don't have bad intentions. They're almost just like trying to teach them a lesson in a way. Okay.
Yeah. And like I don't think that you get like in trouble for it technically, but like that's a way that I think some companies are now approaching it, because there are so many spam and like scam emails that are coming out.
Yeah.
It would be interesting even to like read different ones that are like received and try to like, I don't know, investigate whether or not they're real or not.
Oh my god, yes.
Or like
that's interesting.
Or we would like, it would be cool to do an episode times that I've been scammed.
Yes.
And like talking about like what happened and like how it happened. That could be a cool episode.
And it could be like tied into catfish and like from the perspective of the person that got catfish and like why did you believe them?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Because I feel like it's so quick and easy to like judge people and be like, well, how could you ever believe that? But when it starts as like a little message or like something sweet, something kind, and it just like builds and builds and builds, like it's not a rare thing to be manipulated or scammed by people. And I feel like that would help people, because it would help people to see like how it starts and how believable it can be. And then it'll also help people, I think, be a little more empathetic when you hear about other people, because it's so easy to be like, well, how could you ever fall for that? But it's like, it's not like the first time they met, she got a message asking for $500. It's like she thinks that she's genuinely in a relationship with this guy.
Yeah.
That is very interesting.
Okay, we got another one.
Yes. Side note, I've been getting not like frequently, but just more frequently than in the past, but PayPal emails where I'll get like a notification from a verified PayPal email address. It'll be like support@paypal.com, and it'll be like Bitcoin.inc wants to give you $500, or like you have an unpaid invoice for $500 from Bitcoin.inc. And the first time I got one, I was like, obviously this is fake, but then I just out of the corner of my eye saw that it was from support@paypal.com, and I was like, wait, that's a real email address though. So like, how are they getting support@paypal.com to email me if it's a scam? And I didn't click on the links or anything, but I went into my PayPal account and I had nothing out of the blue.
Right.
But I did email PayPal just to see like what this was and how they got that email address. And they said that that's a new scam. companies will basically make an invoice and just send it to lots of random people, hoping that a few of them will actually go in and pay it. And then it comes from a PayPal email because they're sending it literally through PayPal. And they come up with a name like Bitcoin.inc, and you're like, oh shit, did I actually owe them money? And some people literally pay it.
Wow.
So yeah,
way too creative.
Yeah, don't pay anything that you didn't actually do. And if there's no transactions in your account, like don't fall for it. And you can always reach out to the customer service.
Mm-hmm. And if you owe anyone a lot of money like that, they will come to you. They will find you.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? That's how I always feel. I feel like when you're getting emails like that, that you owe money or something like that, like they will find you. The companies will be persistent if you owe them money.
Yeah.
You know, like even like people are getting a lot of like gas bills or water bills that are like fake and fraud and things like that now too, like in the mail even. And I'm like, listen, if that's real, like they will find a way. Like they'll send your names to whatever they need to. You know what I mean? So and it's just another way to know.
It's so sad that people fall for it. Like if you start a business or like file a trademark, you just be prepared. Like all of that stuff is public knowledge. So you will get so many things in the mail that's like, oh, per this law, you need to buy like signs to put up in your business that are like, if you go into, let's say like a fast food place, somewhere in there is probably a sign that has like the rules for the employees or the policies or like you have to wash your hands before you go to the bathroom. Like companies will send out basically order forms and like a notice to new registered businesses and be like, you have to hang these in your business or you're breaking a law. And it's like, if you own an LLC and you work from home, like they're just trying to scam you. So just be very aware. And like, if you have access to a lawyer or someone that understands that kind of stuff, always turn to them because it's just sad. We should do a whole episode on this.
Yeah, we should. Yeah.
Okay. We'll save our other thoughts on it. Cool. Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for listening to our podcast. I really liked this episode. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, it was fun. A little all over the place as usual and fun and exciting. And I'm still stuck on that dog story. So
insane.
I'm going to be thinking about that before I go to bed tonight even.
Yeah.
But we hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah. Please share our podcast with your friends. Please. And we love you. We appreciate you. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.